Halloween, I'll go back into my costume that I did for the first talk, and I am now Steve Irwin, and my wife is Terry Irwin, and together, just throw that down for a second, and together, I know I'm taking up a few precious seconds here, on the count of 3. Crikey! There we go. Okay, enough of the frivolity. Let us get into the presentation. That should have moved. You're on freeze still. Joint presentation between me and my wife. Mine on the left, the business over on the right with our names there. This is the Dog Behaviour Workshop, where we will solve your problems. I always like to begin with something humorous. This was a sign taken at Charlotte Amalie, and I had no idea that dogs smoked. But apparently they do there. Who are we? I'm an ex-research scientist. My wife is an ex-business analyst. We've now got over 100 years of experience in handling a dog because of the high throughput. We are dog behaviorists. We have a cage-free environment, very important. We have a changing pack, which is also very important. It may come out in the Q&A. The changing pack itself solves problems. If we were to rename the business, probably Dogs in the House, because that's what it is. The dogs are in the house, but we are Area K9, and that's how we live. Every dog in that picture, except for the 2 we're holding, is a paying guest. They will come to us anywhere from 2 hours to the record holder who's standing in the front there, Toffee, the American Cocker Spaniel, 6 months. On our website, we have this. These are a number of pamphlets that you can download to solve any of the problems that you see listed there. So if you don't have your phones out to take pictures, I suggest you do it very quickly, because these slides aren't going to be there for very long. So all of those pamphlets you can get from areak9.com. In our lobby, we have this sign that tells you everything a dog cannot do when it's sitting. Sit is the most important command you can train your dog to. It is the emergency command. It can save your dog's life. It can save you from litigation. So something that needs to be solidly trained. That may come up. Now, we're going to show a video of how to make doggy ice cream. Doggy ice cream solves many problems. So the star of the show, who just sat down, is going to tell you how to do it.
Hello lovely people. So today I'm going to show you how to make an ice cream. Not just any ice cream, a doggy ice cream. We're going to start with what we need for this. So we're going to need a little bit of the dog food, just your normal dog food that your dog eats every day. We're going to need a bowl. This is where we're going to make an ice cream. A little fork to mash it up. Something interesting to put in. It could be, what do I have here? I have salmon oil, but you could put some other stuff. I'll concentrate on it a little later. A little bit of hot water, and the main thing, we're going to need some cones. So they come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. It's a chew toy, essentially. It's a chew toy with a hole that goes right through. Make sure it has in and out. They come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. You're going to have to get the one that suits your dog. So it's if your dog is big, it should be bigger. If the jars are very powerful, it should be very strong rubber. For the smaller dogs, we have a smaller cones with a kind of softer rubber. So anyway, you're going to have to choose which ones you're going to fill up. So let's start making the ice cream. So I am going to measure a food that my dogs eat. This is a measurement of their breakfast. This is a breakfast. So on it goes. Okay, thank you very much. Not yes. So In the meantime, what we're going to do, this is a measurement for breakfast. If I want to make cones enough for the whole day, I'm going to take the whole day food. There we go. Now, this is a measurement of the dog's food for the whole day. Now I know how much I am making. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to, nothing else by the way, see? Just that was empty. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to put some water in. This is a hot water, come on Zaki. This is a hot water, I'm going to put it in. So, and let it stand for a while. I would like the water to cool down and the food, the dry food that I put in, soak in all the water and swell. About an hour and a half past. So the time is actually really depends on your kibble. Some kibble flares up in like 15 minutes and some kibble almost never. 2 hours later it's still kind of a little not very good. Okay, so what you do afterwards, once your kibble is swollen, you kind of mash it all up, and it becomes a mess. If you have a few kibbles that didn't quite swell up, that's not a problem either. Then the dog is going to eat out a little nice chunk. He is going to like it. So if you're using this kibble, swollen kibble like ice cream, just for feeding out of the corn, and this is a good reason to do it, then that's it. You just put stuff into the corn and that's it. But sometimes you would like to give dogs a little extra for it. So you can put a couple of drops of salmon oil, or maybe some sardines, or maybe some peanut butter, whatever your dog likes, just a little bit, not too much. So I'm just going to put some salmon oil. My dogs love it and it's very good for them. Mix it up, all mixed up, and it's all mashed already, lovely. And then I'm going to scoop it all into the hole. So once, just like that, easy breezy. If you have a little bit of extra water in there, no problem. If it's too much water and it's leaking through, then just get rid of water. But anyway, so that's it, you can do that. So then you okay, it's all nicely full. Good job. Next one. So you should use all the paste you made, because this, you know how many meals are in it. So every time you're going to be using this this ice cream for your dog as encouragement or for anything else, you have to take this amount of food out of the daily amount of food. Okay, I think I'm all done. A little bit more. So you don't want to give this ice cream in addition to your normal food. It's instead. So because you know how much is in there, you can always take this amount out of your daily allowance. Okay, I'm done here. The next step, I'm going to go to a freezer. We add the freezer now. So we just filled it up, and now we're going to just put it in the freezer. Careful, children, get out of the way. I know all of you want something. Just wait a minute. So once it's been there for a couple of hours, maybe 2 or 3 hours, your ice cream is ready, and now you can use it for all sorts of good things. In the meantime, you guys be patient with me, so we're going to get a treat. Okay, how about a sit? That's a good sit. That's you, good sit. Oh, what a perfect sit. No, you're going to sit.
Everything that you're going to hear today and a lot more is in this book that we wrote because of people like yourselves saying, do you have some kind of resource? You can either get it from the business website or the book website, which is up on the screen. I am now going to leave this up on the screen. I'm not going to go through these bullets. They may come up in the Q&A that's going to take place now. And I'm going to turn the floor over to the dog behavior expert, my wife Looda. And I know we had queued a question for number 1.
Hello,
she
hello.
is sitting
That's
right there.
She finally gets to ask you a question. She
You
waited for a few days now, right? Okay, here we go. Prepare your questions, guys.
Hi.
Yes.
I got a little 7-pound toy poodle, and he never barked before, but now he's starting to bark at 3 years old. And he barks at anything, and he won't stop barking. If somebody comes to the door, if he hears a noise, he gets very anxious and barks, and I can tell him all sorts of things, and he doesn't care. He wants to bark.
That's right.
So
Right.
how do you stop that?
Right. We're going to now learn how to stop a dog from barking. And I will tell you something. I've heard so many times people would say, well, but I tried this and this and this. Nothing works. And yet, if you will do everything I tell you today, it will work. It worked every time when people did everything I said. Okay, one more thing I want to say before I start with this particular question is, I am going to generalize my answers as much as possible, so everybody will get something out of it. Like, you know, like think about your situation. Oh, I can use this, I can use this kind of stuff, right? So that's why it might take a little longer, but just stay with me. It will be useful, very useful. Okay, one big generalization. Whenever we don't like what our dog does, I don't really care why they do it. A lot of the times people go into this, why? Maybe if I change why, he's not going to do it. I don't care. What I care is I identified the behavior I don't like. What I need to do now is to change it to the behavior I do like. Another huge generalization is, whenever you want your dog to stop doing some behavior, telling him not to do something, well, we can't avoid it. It happens, right? If the dog is jumping at somebody, or like if the dog is barking or whatever, we're going to try to stop them from doing it. But that is called management of the situation. That is not called training. It has no bearing on the future behavior whatsoever. So when you say to the dog, don't, stop, da-da, management. How do we train a dog? We get them into the situation where they do what we like to do and say to them, oh, what a good dog. That is training. Because now dog doesn't have to guess what to do. He knows what you want him to do. Okay, so another huge generalization is my rule, my steadfast rule. If you want to manage your dog sometimes and they say, don't, you can, like I said, you can, but you're not allowed to say anything bad to your dog until you said 10 good things to your dog. So keep collecting your good stuff. Yes, good dog, good dog. Oh, what a nice dog. Da, 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 da. Oh, no, don't do that. Then, at this situation where it's only 1/10 or maybe even more, maybe you collected 100 good ones before, then the dog says, oh, okay, she loves me. I'll just stop doing what I'm doing right now because she doesn't like that particular thing. Okay? That is how we train our dogs really, really, really fast. Now let's go to the barking. So now that we know I don't care why my dog barks, I just need to stop them barking. I'll tell you what will stop your dog barking. A command. You say, quiet, and your dog goes quiet because you trained the command. How to train the command, I'll explain right now. So the most important, because really we can't stop, well, we could have stopped dog from barking ever, but it's unfair and very unusual, and it's a punishment. Because we are the ones, by the way, that taught the dogs to bark. When originally they came around our village, when we were just creating a relationship with them, they didn't really bark. They were doing more like kind of like this sound. Then we taught them to bark. Now we want them to shut up. So like I said, command. They can quiet. They can alert us to things. They can speak whenever they want to speak. But when we don't want them to speak, we say quiet. This is how we teach the command quiet. First, very, very important step. Super important step. That is a step that people miss, and that's why they're not successful, is to teach the dog to bark on your command, to speak on your command. Usually it's easy to do because on the first place you want your dog to stop barking because he likes doing it. He does it often enough. All you need to do is to recognize a situation in which he is for sure going to bark. For example, somebody rings the doorbell and he starts barking. Okay, use the situation. What you're going to do, you're going to get yourself a helper. You're going to get him outside and you're going to ask him, ring the bell. You, in the meantime, come in front of the door into the lobby. The bell rings. You say to your dog, speak. He says, well, I'm already speaking. The bell is ringing. It's okay. You say, oh, what a good dog. Oh, I'm even getting something for it. He says, okay. Next time you say speak, you give him a command to speak, just before the bell rings, 1 second before the bell rings. He will re-encourage by the bell, re-encourage, but now you put a command inside. He is now reacting to the speak word. Then you say speak, few of those exercises, then another few of speak 2 seconds before the bell rings, 3 seconds before the bell rings. Now he knows what speak is much better than he did before. 4 seconds before the bell ring, and by the time he thinks the bell is going to ring, so I will start speaking, bell never rings again, but he speaks on your command. Then you go around for about a day or two, or I don't know, maybe a week. You will go around and say, oh, speak here, speak on the street, speak like in the forest, speak somewhere, speak in the bathroom, speak, we're everywhere. Now your dog knows how to speak on a command. Good. The only reason you did that is to become a priority in your dog's attention when he's barking. And this is why you did it. Essentially, whenever people skip the first step, that is so silly. You can't possibly compete with whatever your dog is barking at the time. He's barking at the bell. Who the hell are you? Bell is ringing. I am talking. Or the squirrel is running. I am talking. Or something else. Whatever they. Those are very important moments in your dog's attention. They fill up his brain, and now he can't pay attention to you. Now that he speaks on your command, you're going to be much smarter than him. You're going to go into the smallest room in your house, bathroom. I'm going to do another huge generalization right now. Any command you try to teach your dog, you do it under such a simple conditions, completely artificial. You create those conditions so the dog can't fail. And then, once the dog didn't fail under those conditions, you slightly increase the difficulty and go where you had a problem, go beyond it, go more, and get the command that you're training under any condition. Okay, so we are going to make the house quiet. No TV, nobody's cleaning, nobody is wandering around, nice and quiet house. You go into the bathroom, you close the door behind you, you turn even the light off, maybe turn the night light on so he actually can see you, right? And now you are your dog's whole world. There is nothing between you in his brain, and that's it. This is it. This is the whole world. And then you say speak. He knows. He speaks now. He's bark. You pull out the worst, the juiciest treat you could possibly find. You never let your dog boiled chicken skin, but this is the time when you do. You grab his attention. Best treat ever. You pull it in. You put it right in front of the nose, and you say quiet. The dog will go quiet just to sniff that treat, right? He just did what you asked him to do. He just went quiet on your command. You maybe pull out a couple of more treats, maybe go to the liver treat, maybe something else, maybe the kibble, no kibble at all in the end, and you say, speak quiet, speak treat, quiet, speak quiet. Anyway, now your dog goes quiet under these completely artificial conditions. Let's make it a little difficult. Let's make it another step. You open the door into the house and you say, speak quiet, and he doesn't go quiet. If you were in the guidance lecture, you know that the dogs see the world, feel the world absolutely differently from us. So when we open the door, for ourselves, not much changed. But for the dog, oh my God, so many smells just walked in. So many sounds that we don't hear, but they do. So many lights, whatever, came in. And now your dog's brain is like all over the place. You're okay, but somewhere else as well. So what we're going to do, that was a goal too high. Generalization, another one. If you give your dog something to do that is so difficult for him, that is a goal too far in the future, you're working against yourself. What you need to do, you need to bring this goal back down to something that your dog can break between the one he just did and the one that is going to happen. We're going to close the door back. We're going to open it a tiny little crack. Still didn't work. You say speak, say quiet. He speaks in any conditions now. But when you said quiet, didn't work. Again, what does it mean? That step was too big for the dog. Close it. Let's try another sense, maybe. Just to, you need to break down the difficulty. So what you're going to do, maybe we're going to go ahead and turn the TV on in the farthest room from the bathroom. It was a little bit of noise in there. You say, speak quiet, speak, go, walks. That wasn't enough distraction. So the step was small enough. Then maybe turn the TV on by the door, by the room, by the bathroom where you are, closer. Speak quiet, walks. It walks as well. Put the house back into the quiet, open a crack, walked. Because the dog was able to make the difference between this and this was able to do it. I don't mind you trying big steps, but if it just doesn't work, the dog might be able to make a connection and say, okay, quiet is quiet everywhere, although most likely it's not going to be for the very big steps. So what do? You just make the step smaller if you need smaller. If you need smaller, go back to where you were before and try a little tiny increases from there on. From there on, your job is only that. Then you're going to open the door, then you're going to introduce a human being. Oops! Human being walked by the door, by the open door, and it did not work. The dog was like, oh, who is walking around? So what you're going to do, you're going to get the human, put him on outside of open door and just stand there. Smell will be there for the dog, but he's not going to see him. He's not going to hear him. It's nice and quiet stay. That's your breakage of the difficulty of the step. Then maybe the person is going to put the arm out or finger, whatever, I don't know. Then maybe one leg, maybe like oops and back, maybe whoops and back, kind of like this. So the dog still has enough break. Break is not big enough, so he can small enough break so that he can understand. Oh, under this condition, I also go quiet when she says. And then the person goes by, and then you do it when there is a vacuum cleaner going, and when you're cooking something. Ooh, that's a big distraction for the dog. And when people are coming in, maybe when the party is going on, say, guys, I'm going to show you the trick. Speak quiet, good. Well, lots of people do different things. Huge step for the dog. Huge generalization as well. Everybody should know it. Huge step for the dog. Whenever you do things in the house, to whenever you do things outside the house. Whenever you open that door, the dog gets bombarded with smells, sounds, sights that we don't have. We just don't have those sights. So what do? Normally, you whenever you go outside to train the command, first of all, try to do it with just an open door. So you speak, go in front of the door, open the door, say speak quiet, go closer to the door, get onto the porch outside of the door, go back inside, go off the porch and then back inside. They go off the porch and, oh, too much. This is what you're going to do. You're going to try the outside to dumb down. So it's a dusk or dawn, when it's not too much light, when not every bird woken up or every squirrel, when the children don't go by to school, when there's not too many cars outside. So dumb it down as much as you can. Try to do it in small enclosed backyard. If your backyard is too big, mine is huge, then go find smaller backyard. Maybe your kids have a smaller backyard. Maybe your neighbors. Maybe somebody you've met on the street with a dog. Somebody who has a smaller enclosed backyard. Do it at the dusk or dawn, and then start doing it with more things happening around, right? Like a lighter, or people going by, lots of people going by. Bigger backyard, you're doing bigger. Then you go onto like a nice quiet street and ask the dog to speak quiet. One car going by, two cars are going by. Ooh, can do more now. Can go to the busiest street. Cars are going by. You can speak quiet. What a good dog. You're going by. You see I like those bikes, trained by the bikes. Whenever I see this big crowds of bikes going by, they're so loud, like zoo all the time. Or I always trained by them. Whatever I want, like sit, stay, for example. I love to do this. I love to say, okay, go say hello to somebody while there's woo going on. Same with a speak and quiet when this is going on, when the church bells are ringing, when the kids are screaming and fighting, coming, well, I don't know, over whatever they're fighting, they're always so loud. And or when they do like this, how do you call it, the board? Skateboarding or whatever. Do and under all kinds of conditions. From now on, you're going to go around, and whenever you see something unusual, you're going to say, ooh, speak quiet. Oh, what else is out there? You find those things and you do more and more and more different things. And very pretty soon you're going to completely forget about your problem that the dog is barking at somebody, because you're just going to say quiet and he'll go quiet. I hope somebody got the other things. I'm sorry it was long.
We queued number 2.
Who is number 2?
Do we remember who number 2 was?
You're number 2? No. Okay, you're number 2 now. Come on. On this one, on top. Okay.
Yeah. So sorry. Thank you. So the first question I had about that. So does that also work for dogs that are growling and barking at visitors?
Okay, growling and barking at visitors. You could do that, but I wouldn't advise you to do that, because growling is completely different situation. It's actually okay. So a lot of the times people ask me that in a different context. They would say, well, I'm kind of embarrassed this behavior. It's kind of a little aggressive. It's not very nice. Maybe I should stop this behavior and train the behavior out. I would never train those behaviors out. In fact, I want you to think about it and to just think every time about it when it happens. Dogs do a lot of things not to fight, not to get into trouble. In the beginning, for example, they would just look in a different direction. So you should see the eyes kind of go in this direction, then the nose in this one, and it's kind of like I don't want to be here. I want to get out of here. Sometimes they do like a little snap. Sometimes they do a growl. Sometimes they like even turn around and like do a little snap. They do all kinds of things. All of those things are perfect. Those are communication of where your dog is feeling uncomfortable. And they would do those things like in a different level. Like, for example, when he just looks around, he says, "Oh, just leave me alone." If he starts growling, he says, "Get the hell out of my face," or whatever. Or snap at this, "Just wait, you'll get from me." And so all of those things are so important. People around them need to know how the dogs feel. That's a good thing to do. Right? Otherwise, you can train all those things out, but then you have nothing between the dog sitting like an angel to a bite. If the dog's sitting like an angel and then he did you better listen around, you better walk away, you better go somewhere else. That is a communication not to damage anybody, not to have a fight. I love growls. You pay attention to your dog. They're telling you something, right? So you do need to do something about the situation that is happening, right? Very often, our dogs know about people that they growl at much more than we do. They do. So because they feel so well, we're like an open book for any emotions and stuff. Also dogs, I don't know if you've heard in the lectures, right? Whenever they meet new dogs, they know everything the hell to know about them. They take their temperature, they know what they ate, they know how well they feel, they know if they are angry, they know everything about that dog. You don't. Neither do you about the people that coming in. Maybe they just got some medication, maybe whatever. So anyway, I would trust your dog. If you don't like your dog's behavior, if he's growling a little too aggressive from your point of view, walk out of this situation. Say, "Sorry, I just remembered I need to get some." Out you go. Trust your dog. Okay.
With that you just described on how to train the behavior out of the barking, how long do you reward them with a treat before you just go to like the dog and pet them?
Immediately. So very, very good question. I want to generalize it to everything you trained your dog, right? You can use the food, like a lot of the times people say, "Oh no, I don't use the food with my dog. I don't bribe them." Why? It's the simplest way to explain to your dog what it is you want from them. So the bribing, like luring them into position with the food, like seat. The best seat ever you can do. Do not touch your dog. Don't touch your dog, because he will expect you touching them every time you're going to ask them to sit. So don't do this. Instead, you take a treat into your hand. You put your dog is standing here. You put it in over his head. Dog has nothing, no other way but to sit down. You just got him into position, and this is what you use then for training and for the command, right? You do like few times with a treat. Then you put a treat into this hand. You do tuk tuk tuk. Do this, and then you can stylize it, right? For example, if the dog sits like right in here, I just do this. And my dog sits if I do this. If the dog is over there, I do this, which is kind of a proper one. Come on. And then if the dog is over there standing, I do this, and my dog will sit a kilometer away from me if he sees me moving like this, right? So anyway, so you do this. Now, as soon as it works, you take the food out of the equation, right? And the way you do it in an uneven, how to say?
Differential reward.
Differential reward. So for example, you say one, then try over one, like one not, one yes, one not, one not, one not, one yes. So you're trying to like not let him predict when you're going to give him a treat or not. And then the in between is bigger, 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 bigger. Maybe then you replace the thing, replace reward with the things he likes to play with, a ball, underwear, and then the things he likes to do, and then absolutely nothing except for you never, ever, ever, ever stop telling them how well they did. In fact, differentiation in the reward back from you is going to speed up your training immensely. So for example, you say the dog sit, and the dog is like, maybe, maybe, okay, okay, I'm going to sit. What you're going to do, you're going to say thank you and walk away. If you say sit and the dog like sits immediately like this, it's, oh my God, you're such a good dog, thank you so much, I'll play with you, I'll take you out, I'll give you a treat, I'll do and everything in between. You judge how well the dog did. Then the dog understands, oh, that's exactly, it's not just to put the bum to the ground, it's also quickly put the bum to the ground. It's also put the bum to the ground as soon as she said it, doesn't matter where I am. It doesn't mean come around in front of me, sit over here and then sit. If I say sit to the dog over there, the bum to the ground goes over there. Okay? Hope I answered. Okay, anybody else?
Where's our next question? Where was over here? Wave.
Yeah, over there.
Good. As I go, Looda, I want to point out something to you. See all these people standing in the entrance here? They're coming for bingo. We have to stop exactly on time.
Well, it's okay. They're not going to kill us. They're having fun too, right?
We have a dog that's a rescue, so we're about the third owner, so I don't know what happened before. And he's good 98% of the time. The behavior I want to change is that he never gets in the trash if we are home. But the one time that I will forget to put it away before we leave, he gets into the trash and scatters it everywhere. So what I've learned from you is now when he puts himself outside, it's because he's afraid of my reaction. He's not learning not to do it.
No. Okay. So, dog goes through the trash. I am going to give you really good advice, and it will solve this problem. Really, hide your trash. Lock it. Do whatever. It's your fault that your dog, I'm sorry, gets into your trash. Now, I loved the fact that you said that the 98% of the time your dog is perfect. This is how we should think about our dogs. A lot of the time says, oh, my dog is a bad boy. Really? Really? I don't believe this. It's like 98% he is good, 1% or 2% he is whatever, doing something that it's our fault in the first place, and then he's bad. Every dog, every single dog, when they are in the palms of your hands, when they fit there, they are perfect. What happens to them after that? It's up to us completely. And I want to repeat that thing that I was saying in the beginning. I know you said maybe you're third owners of this dog. Whatever had happened to your dog before, forget about it. Your dog is now loved, cared for. He has a wonderful roof. food, attention. He has everything there is to be happy with. It might take some time for him to realize that this situation is perfect for him right now. But you have nothing to apologize for. You're now creating the best situation for the dog possible, right? And he's going to have to get on with the program, right? You will never do anything bad to the dog. You know that. He's going to learn it. You just have to be the best you can for him right now. Because you have not been there, there was, several years of his life. Something could have happened to him that was horrible. And maybe it's a hidden button somewhere in his behavior. Something bad is yet going to happen because something will repeat from the bad past of his. Obviously, if you're a third owner, then something had happened to him before. But as far as you're concerned, when you will figure out what it is he does, just figure out what you want him to do instead in this kind of situation and train it. Forget that what was in his past. A lot of the times we say, oh, one time we went like into the park and the big black dog attacked my dog and now my dog is afraid of black dogs. No, you are afraid of big black dogs. Your dog, honestly, is reacting to what you're reacting. This is what dogs think about it, right? So we go around and the dog, oh, my owner is lovely, everything is fine. Oi, what happened to my owner? He's like tensed up and he wants to go another way and he just changed everything. What's happening? Maybe the owner saw the big black dog, right? So the poor guy doesn't have any choice but to react to what his owner does. Forget about this big black dog. He's reacting to the owner. I'm saying you are the first one that should say, the hell with big black dogs. I'm going to be fine. Everything is going to be fine. And the dog is going to relax and behave normally. Dogs forget about this kind of situation much faster than we do. We're overthinking it. Over there, just...
I'm going to go back there.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Giving me my exercise today. Thank you so much.
No, it doesn't count.
Yes, it does.
Back to dancing.
Thank you. We have a lovely little Havanese dog, about 15 pounds. And his favorite thing to do is find a piece of paper, toilet paper, any paper in the house that's left where you do leave things. And so what we have grown to do is we see the paper. It's not good for him to eat. So I say trade, and I go for a treat, and I give him the treat, and he drops the paper.
Good.
That's good.
Yeah, it's the beginning of the training. It's not the end of it. It's the beginning.
What's the end?
The end is drop, and he drops it. Or leave it, and he doesn't even ever picks it up. But if you say that, you need to pick it up and put it away.
And so if he leaves it, is the ultimate end. But is that without a treat?
Oh yeah. So you can start with anything you need to start. Anything goes. You start with that. But until you just say the command and he does it immediately, and you don't owe him anything in return, you did not train the command, right? So you can, like I was saying, like you take a nice treat, you lower the dog into seat, then you like remove the food treat out of the situation. Oh, this is a great thing to say right now. Okay, and you can use it a lot. In my book, I write about this too. Essentially, what I would like you to do, everybody should do it because you can use it all the time. You need to write 3 different lists of treats. One is a list of food treats, and the list should be ordered. Very important. Do a taste day, taste test. Anyway, and see which treats your dog like more than others. Then at any particular point, you can always, if he is okay with like treat number 3 on this list, you can give him treat number 5, and he's, oh yeah, I'll drop for that one, I'll drop for that. You know what I'm saying? You can use the value of the treat, because the treat can be different value. And then slowly, once you train it, you can remove the treat from the high value treat to the lower, all the way to the normal food treat. So this is number one list. Number two list is the things your dog likes, not the food. Your dog likes a ball, a stick, a chew toy, underwear, socks, whatever, like stone, like, I don't know. You make a list of things your dog likes, and again, how much he likes him. Then you will be able to trade a stone for the sock for the ball for, I don't know what, you know what I'm saying, for some other toy, maybe with some smell inside, right? So food list, the things list, and then the other list, that is the most important, I would say, list, is things your dog likes to do. Right? Your dog likes to, I'm sure, go for a walk, or he likes to get the belly rub, or the behind the ears rub, or under the chin rub, or maybe your dog likes to sit next to you on the settee when you watch TV, or maybe whatever, or specific chair the dog likes. Things or going for a ride. Lots of dogs like that as well in a car. And then you can always replace something from this food list into the high quality of the thing list, into the lower quality of the I like to have a belly rub, and then you can just replace things like that. And like I said, in the end, no command is trained until your dog doesn't need anything from you and just fulfills the command immediately and happy. And the only thing you never remove from the reward is, what a good dog, thank you, you are the best baby in my life, or whatever, you know.
All right, we have time for one more short question.
There's no such a thing.
Actually, short answer. You again, eh? All right.
Okay.
You're right here.
Thank you. So we have two.
You have questions? No?
Okay, for the rest of you, you see us around the ship, come up and talk to us. She's happy to answer questions for the remainder of the voyage, on land, on the ship. Same for me, if you've got science questions, come and talk to us.
We have two golden doodles that are not siblings, but they're bonded together. How do we train them? Because if we try to train like them together, or try to do one at a time, and we take them out, they howl and cry for each other, and we can't get them to focus.
Okay.
But together, they're crazy.
Okay.
That's what we did with our dogs, actually.
Yes,
Good
that's right.
question.
I had two brothers, dogs, two brothers, and very good. It's a very short answer question. Train them together. They actually show off in front of each other. And if one of them does something better, the other one, oh, I can do that too. Sometimes, once in a while, you will get a situation where they can't do it. Like, for example, my dogs were, I had Shetland sheepdogs, and they did everything. And every trainer I met out there would say they will not be able to crawl. You know, you say crawl and then they will not be able because there's too much fur, or they will not be able to roll because they can't, you know, like, okay, mine did. And they did have a huge difficulty to begin with. At that time, what I did was I took one of them who was not as smart as the other one, and I didn't put him into another room. I sent him out for a walk with Gary. Gary would take the dog and would go for an hour to the park to do some other fun stuff, whatever. And I was walking on the other dog, and I think maybe about a week, it took about a week of me working on him when he started kind of crawling. And then I introduced another dog into it, and she said, oh my God, you can do it, I'll try it too. And then they compete with each other. They did very well. Train them together. Every generalization that is one of the most important that you'll take away with you today. Dogs love, I can't say enough, training. They love it so much. Imagine your undivided attention on your dog only. You complete, like you give them feedback to everything they do this way, this is it, and you keep telling them all the time, and you're staying with them for a long time, or 5 minutes, or 20 minutes, whatever, doesn't matter. They are loving it. There's nothing better for your dogs than your training. Now, for you, if the training is not fun, if you're not having fun training your dog, you're doing something wrong. So, I don't know, maybe something on your mind, maybe something is hurting, maybe somebody scratched your car and you can get your mind out of the scratch on your car. Just stop it. Remove this out of the bad situation until you can forget about the scratch on your car. Then you can start another training session. Your training session with a dog should be so much fun. It's like, I don't know, people like a glass of wine, or a cup of coffee, or watching a movie, or reading a book. I love lying on a settee reading a book, doing nothing else. But for me, training is exactly the same fun, if not much more fun, than just reading a book. So sometimes I read a book, and sometimes I train my dog. It's fun. Why wouldn't you do it if it's fun? And the end result is good for everybody. Sorry, for you, for your dog, for the family, for everybody out there. Whenever I bring my 2 dogs into the world, I bring happiness into the world. I will get at least a smile out of somebody, at the minimum.
And with that, we come to the end of the Dog Behaviour Workshop. If you still have questions, you know where to find us. We're on the ship.